And our final speaker for the evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. This speech provides insight into how we as humans can use the knowledge and instinct congenital to us to make decisions that facilitate our metamorphosis into becoming fervent leaders. Through focusing on the practice of introspection and extrospection, I will unravel the values that have set me on the trajectory of invoking the leader within. Leading through introspection and extrospection, Khushee, Doshi. Khushee, Doshi, leading through introspection and extrospection.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmasters. How often do we realize that the resolutions to most of the complications and difficulties that we face are already within us? We as humans reside within us a vast sea of knowledge and have congenital intuition that is unique to our individuality. And this quality is what is a testament to the leader within each one of us. However, society's perpetual inference and society's perpetual urge drives us to seek bliss in ignorance and bliss in herd, through conforming with the actions of others, through seeking rejoice in conformative actions. And this practice impedes the fire. It quells the fire of leadership within us. It impedes the passion that we have within us to bring about change. It impedes us from learning the knowledge that we already have innate within us. However, we can undo this through two practices. The first one is introspection, and the second is extrospection. Now, when we look at leaders, it is often their charm, their charisma, their beguiling personalities, and their invincible aura that draws us into the causes that they fight for, the changes that they lead, and the voice that they take. It is their charisma that draws us in. But what is true is that each one leader has a practically wise human within them, which really is a testament to a true leader. What is practical wisdom? Practical wisdom is the combination of an individual's will and their skill. And two ways you can hone your will and your skill are through introspection, which is the practice of looking inside, analyzing the knowledge that is within you, understanding the causes that interest you the most, what you are passionate about. While extrospection is being cognizant of the environment around you, of learning from those you are surrounded by, investing time to understand the way experiences shape your own thinking and shape your own learning, and looking at the environment and the way it nurtures you to be the individual you are. Introspection and extrospection, when intertwined, lead to honing your skill and your will. Your skill is the skill set within you, your passion, your voice, your cause that you are so fervent for. And introspection instigates and facilitates understanding and honing that skill set within, while extrospection, the action and the practice of extrospection, allows you to form a vision of any change that you want to bring about in the society that you live in and the environment that you live in. That vision equips you to have a will, a passion, a need to change something. And that introspection and extrospection, when intertwined, invoke a will and a skill that sets you on the trajectory to evolving from within and without. Practically wise humans are leaders. You do not need to be world renowned. You do not need a huge following in order to be a leader. A simple belief, a simple mindset of resilience and invincibility will make you a leader automatically, because you become more cognizant of those around you. You start perceiving social contexts while focusing on the skills that you hone within and the skills that you contain within. You become a people's person, and that is what a leader is, one who shows the path, one who's not there to lead a person, but to stand next to a community and show them the right way, the path that has been previously unexplored. That is a true leader. And you can be a leader through introspecting and through extrospecting. A leader is one who is unafraid to defy the norm. A leader does not look to conform. And when a leader perceives a social context, they become cognizant of the needs of the people that they want to serve and the causes that they want to serve. And that can oftentimes result through bending certain rules that no longer serve us. When you bend rules, when you bring about changes for good, you are practically wise, because you're using your will and your skill, your wit and your grit to serve the people and to serve the cause you truly want to serve. Again, you do not need charisma. You do not need an invincible aura. All you need is a will, a skill that you can hone through your introspection and your extrospection. And that will automatically make you an invincibly charismatic leader. I hope this insight could lead you to draw you into the practice of introspection and extrospection, because I know that each one of us has a passion within, and each one of us has explored a path that has been previously unexplored, which needs to be shed light on. Thank you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. And good evening, Khushee. Khushee, it was a pleasure evaluating your speech on leadership. I remember when I did my leadership speech as well, and there were several caveats that I saw in your speech as well. Before your speech, you asked me to look out for several qualities. You asked me to look out for your engagement, your delivery style, and your tone or vocal variety. As I evaluated your speech, I noticed several things. You had your audience very engaged. When you started off, you started with a question, and you also provided the answer for that question, whether or not we knew it or not. You mentioned the fact that inside of us all, we have a vast sea of knowledge. There's a leader within all of us. I found your delivery style to be very calm and reassuring. Your delivery style was also supported by the fact that you were well dressed for the role. I can tell you spent the time to be meticulous about what you chose to wear for tonight's speech. You maintained very good eye contact with your audience, and your audience also maintained a direct eye contact with you as well, as they were also engaged. As far as tone and vocal variety, I noticed your tone was very calm and reassuring, but there was not a lot of vocal variety. I did not notice any, but I found this was not the type of speech that you could have included a lot of vocal variety, unless, of course, if you included some dialogue. Had you put some dialogue in there, you'd have had some opportunities there for vocal variety. I saw a lot of gestures. Your gestures supported your points. However, I noticed that half of your screen was gone, so I saw only like the very tip of your hand versus seeing the full length of your hand and seeing your hands go to your side when you were not gesturing. You might want to adjust your screen for future speeches. As far as knowledge and content, I noticed you mentioned all the rules of being a good leader. You mentioned the fact that we need to have will and skill. You mentioned the fact that because of the fact that we have a vast knowledge, it's still limited by whatever trauma we may have through society. But if we look inside and look out, if we look inside ourselves, we can access that vast sea of knowledge. If we look outside and look at what others are doing, we can also access that knowledge as well. You mentioned that leaders are people person. Yes, you have to have a very good relationship with whomever you're leading, whether it is that you are an active leader or if you are just a passive leader, meaning you don't have someone directly reporting to you. I really like the fact that you mentioned that leaders use their wit and grit to bend the rules to make things work for their team and for themselves. And then I like your ending where you mentioned the fact that all of us have the potential to be leaders as well. Thank you for the opportunity to evaluate your speech. Mr. Evaluator, Mr. General Evaluator.